Boxing Lowdown, and welcome to the first ever Q&A session that I'll be hosting here. Now, I'll be doing these when we have a few slow weeks in boxing, no doubt. It's a bit of a slow one compared to some of the previous weeks that we've had in boxing, so I thought it'd be a good time to do a Q&A, hear some of the questions that you guys have got, and I'll do my best to answer them. So, let's see what we've got. Right, first question that I've got here, shout out to Ian Hamilton for this one. Earliest boxing memories, what boxers drew you to the sport? Now, my earliest boxing memories goes all the way back, I'd say, to like 2004, 2003. I was a teenager then, like 13, 14 years old, and my dad was heavily into boxing. So I always used to have to watch videos of him. Obviously I was watching likes of Mike Tyson, the heavyweights, Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield. Those guys from the 90s and the early 2000s, they really had an impact. Floyd Mayweather, I watched him, actually we're going back now to probably 2001, so yeah, 2001 I'd say, 2000. I was watching these guys, and yeah, Mayweather back in the day, before he was Money Mayweather, when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, I used to study his work. Zab Judah was another one, he was one of my favourite boxers. And over here in England, definitely the likes of Prince Nassim Hamed, Lennox Lewis, Joe Calzaghe, you know, the normal ones. I used to really like the light middleweight division back then as well, when we had the likes of Richard Williams, Takalu. These names are not really going to ring a bell for a lot of people, but yeah, those were the kind of fighters that I used to enjoy watching back in the day, and that's what drew me to the sport. I actually did have a boxing career when I was younger as an amateur, only as a junior though. As a senior I didn't actually box, but as an amateur I used to box at Lucy Gym, Shamrock Gym, and then when I went to university in Nottingham, I boxed at the Phoenix Gym as well. So I do have a history in boxing, and it is something that I've always had a passion for. Now, next question. Fight prediction. We've got a few here. Lomachenko versus Campbell coming up this month. I'm going to have to go with Lomachenko for that one. I think that Campbell's going to give a good effort. I think he might surprise a few people, but ultimately I think that Lomachenko's class will tell in the end. Fury versus Wilder 2. I don't know, I'm 50-50 on that one, to be honest. I think Fury can outbox him again, but then there's a good chance that Wilder could land on him, so I'm really 50-50 with that one. And the thing with Wilder is that he could land on you at any time in the fight as well, so I'm 50-50, I'm going to have to sit on the fence of that one. What other question have we got here? Wilder versus Ortiz and AJ beat Ruiz 2. Wilder versus Ortiz, I'm definitely going to go for Wilder. He had trouble against Ortiz the first time out, but I think that he's figured that puzzle out now. In the rematch he might stop him quicker. Ortiz is only getting older, he hasn't been as active. I think Wilder will catch up with him maybe earlier this time. AJ Ruiz 2, man, I was picking Ruiz in the rematch. I thought that it was too soon for AJ to go up against him, but after watching this video on his YouTube channel, I highly recommend it for anyone that hasn't watched it. I can't remember the title of the video, but it's a very good video that pretty much goes in depth as to his thoughts and feelings going into that first fight. I think if the fight lands in Cardiff, which is rumoured to be, I'm going to go for AJ to win that one. If it's in America, I'll probably go for Ruiz, but I'm leaning towards AJ in the rematch. Next question we have here. How many belts should there be in each division? Good question. If it was up to me, there'd be one belt per division, one world title per division, I'd say. I'm definitely a fan of like the British, Commonwealth and European titles, the area titles. I think that they should still be there. But as for world champions, I think there should be one belt per division. You see what's going on today with like the sanctioning bodies, and you know, in boxing right now, it's all corrupt. You have people that are mandatories and then they're not mandatories. You have like super champions and regular champions. The casual boxing fan will just be confused. So for me, I'd like there to be one champion per division. It's never going to happen, but that's my personal opinion on it. Next question that we have. Thoughts on Aamir Khans' future in the sport? Aamir Khans' future in the sport, he's achieved a lot, let's say that. He achieved a lot of money in Saudi Arabia against Billy Dib. I don't think there's much more for Aamir Khan to do. He's picked up world titles, he's had a tremendous career, amateur and pro. He's 32 years old now, so I don't think he's got long left. To be honest, I don't think he can handle the top guys at welterweight right now, the likes of Errol Spence. We saw him up against Terence Crawford, what happened there. So yeah, maybe a cash out fight, I'd say, for Aamir Khan. If he could get the Pacquiao fight, you know, he's been chasing it for so long. Personally, I don't think he'll win that, but if he can get that fight, then yeah, fair play to him. Maybe 1 or 2 big money fights for him and then cash out. He's already had a great career. So yeah, I think that's what Aamir Khan should do next. Next question. How will the heavyweight division be affected if AJ loses the rematch? Well, AJ was definitely a cash cow of the heavyweight division. He was the money man. He attracted so many casuals in the UK, for example. It would have an impact if AJ did lose. Let's be honest about it. If he did lose the rematch, his stock value will drop tremendously. I think it's dropped already, but if he lost a rematch to Ortiz, it would drop hugely. And it would have a significant effect on the rest of the heavyweight division because obviously AJ is the money man. So yeah, I think that would have an effect. Definitely here in the UK anyway. Over in America, he wasn't as well known as he was back over here. But you know, the likes of Joshua against Wilder, that before he lost to Ruiz, that was the biggest fight in boxing. Now he's lost to Ruiz. What's the biggest fight in boxing now? Is it Ruiz against Wilder? I don't know. You guys let me know. But yeah, if Joshua was to lose the rematch, it would have a significant effect on the heavyweight division. Next question that I've got here. Biggest fight that you've been to? I've been to loads of fights, man. Loads of fights. I'd say I went to AJ against Klitschko. That was amazing. Even though I was up in the gods for that fight. Yeah, that was a massive fight that I've been to. Been to AJ against Dylan White. When I was younger, I went to New Jersey to watch a massive. This is probably the biggest card I've been to for me personally. It was a massive card back in the day. It had the likes of Bernard Hopkins on there. He was against William Joppy. Sam Judah was on the card. Haseeb Rahman was on the card. Me and my dad went there in Atlantic City to watch that, and that was brilliant for me because I used to study those fighters growing up. So actually see them live in the flesh was something else. So I'd say that was the biggest card I've been to in terms of like monetary value and what it had an effect on the sport. Definitely Joshua and Klitschko. That would have to be the biggest. Next question. Dubois versus Price. Now, good question. Definitely going to go for Daniel Dubois in that fight. I think that Pricey looked very good against David Allen. You know, boxed a perfect fight. Used his jab very well and showed some of the glimpses of the potential that we know David Price has, even at the age of 36. You know, Daniel Dubois though is like a wrecking machine right now. I think it's steamroll Price. Probably within 4 rounds. That's not being disrespectful to David Price, but I just think that Daniel Dubois is on the up, and Price has probably hit the heights as where he can go right now. It would be very hard for Price to keep Dubois off him, and I think that Price would knock some of that. Dubois would knock some of that confidence out of Price very early, and I think he'd beat him probably within 4 rounds. Next question. Fantasy matchup. I like these. Miguel Cotto versus Ricky Hatton. Now, very good fight. I don't know what weight you're referring to, whether it's 140 pounds or 147 pounds. That's where they both kind of competed at. If it's at 140 pounds, I'd say Ricky Hatton. He was a beast at that weight. Cotto was, you know, he was a bit weaker that way. He was much stronger at 147 pounds. Both in their prime. 140 pounds, I'll go for Hatton. 147 pounds, I'll definitely go for Cotto. I think he was a beast at that weight. I think that Hatton cuts very easily, and I think that Cotto's accurate punches would definitely take an effect on Hatton if they were to meet at welterweight. I think at light welterweight, Hatton, like he did against Sue, would probably maul Miguel Cotto, and I think he'd be the physically stronger man and probably win that one. So it depends what weight class it is, but yeah, those are my thoughts on that matchup. Next question here, got a few of them. Thoughts on Usyk and Gassiev moving up to heavyweight? So yeah, we've been waiting on Usyk for a while to make his debut. He was supposed to go up against Carlos Takam. Takam got injured, Usyk got injured, sorry, as we know. But then Takam, I saw, was injured not too long ago, so it doesn't look like that Usyk will be facing Takam anytime soon. But I'm really excited about Alexander Usyk's entry into the heavyweight division. I think it adds a bit of spice to it. This guy is a tremendous talent. You know, we know the skills that he's got. I think he'd be a great addition to the heavyweight division. I'm looking forward to seeing who he goes up against, how he gets on against the big men, and you know, his skills are on another level to everybody. So how would that work against the likes of Deontay Wilder, an Anthony Joshua, a Tyson Fury. I think it'd be brilliant. As for Gassiev, I'm not too sure. I think I'm going to need to see a couple of fights first from him. He's not a massive heavyweight by any means. He wasn't a massive cruiserweight. So as a heavyweight, I think he might struggle. I think I'll take that journey lightly compared to Usyk. Usyk comprehensively outboxed Gassiev in the World Boxing Super Series final. So I think I need to see a few fights of Gassiev first before we could judge him against the big boys. But you know, more the merrier, man. I think it's still an interesting addition, and I like to see how he gets on. So yeah, fair play to both of them for moving up. Next question we have here: Parker versus Chisora. Now, Joseph Parker and Derek Chisora. Good fight, man. Very good fight. Chisora looked outstanding in his last fight against Spilka. Knocked him out in 2 rounds. He's really come on since he's worked with Dave Caldwell, and he's kind of got a new lease of life, even in his whole body, right? I think he's like 35 years old. I think he gives Parker a very good fight. Parker is definitely the better boxer. He would be my favourite, but I'm not ruling out Chisora by any means. I think that Parker could get beaten by Chisora. Chisora was up against Dylan White before he got knocked out in that second fight, and he's very confident right now, and if he lands on Parker, you know, he could take Parker out. Close fight, man. Good fight. I'd like to see it. I think Parker would probably have the edge for me, but I wouldn't rule out Chisora by any means. Next question here, interesting one. Will Akoni make a statement at heavyweight, or should he stay at cruiserweight? Lawrence Akoni, I think he should stay at cruiserweight for now. He's still in the early stages of his career. He's still learning. He's still developing. He's got Shane McGuigan in his corner now, which I think is a good move. He's definitely got the frame to move up to heavyweight eventually. Very big guy. He's like, what, 6'5" Akoni. For now, though, I'll definitely stay at cruiserweight. Try and win a world title there. The world title belts are all now kind of split up. Now Usyk's moved up in weight. So Akoni, yeah, I know he's got a European title shot coming up soon. Pick up that belt, and then yeah, just work slowly, man. I don't think he's in any rush to move up to heavyweight. Maybe when he becomes cruiserweight champion and defends his belt a few times, then maybe the glamour of the heavyweight division might take to him. But for now, I'll definitely say stay at cruiserweight. Next question here. With the recent deaths in boxing, can anything more be done to prevent these tragedies? Should trainers be more willing to throw in the towel? Great question. Thank you, Lewis, for the question, man. Can anything more be done to prevent deaths in boxing? There's unfortunately in this sport, there's always going to be deaths in boxing no matter what security measures we take. I think there always can be more done. I think we've evolved tremendously from the likes of 15, 20 years ago. Having an ambulance there at ringside, having a doctor at ringside. I think to help prevent more tragedies such as the ones that we've had recently, we need to have more trainers willing to step in to throw the towel for sure. We saw Buddy McGirt throwing the towel in for his fight, Maxime Dadashev's death recently. I think that yeah, trainers can do more because the fighters are warriors, man. We need to protect the fighters from themselves. So the referees can do more. I think we all as a collective can do more. If a fighter is taking unnecessary punishment and a fight is no longer competitive, then the fight should be stopped. I'm not talking about a fight where a person might have a puncher's chance or they're still in the fight. If a fight is turning into a beatdown and you know they're getting beaten from pillar to post, then there's no reason for that fight to carry on. Fighters are always going to want to carry on, but it's the responsibility of the referee and the trainer, I think, to stop these fights sooner and possibly prevent more deaths in boxing. Like I said, I think we've come a long way from the likes of 15, 20 years ago, but I think more can be done and I think we're still learning. Also licensing some of these guys. If a person has been knocked out, I think that there should be a suspension there. There is normally, but if they were to go to another state in America, for example, they could get a license. So I'd like to see that more universal across the board. Yeah, I think the fighters need protecting from themselves, and that's the responsibility of the referee, the trainer, the commissions in boxing as well. So yeah, for sure. Last question that I have here. Are promoters at fault for big fights not taking place? I think they're part of the problem, yeah, definitely. Promoters are they're a big part of the problem actually. You have a look at what's going on right now with the PBC and Al Heyman. Al Heyman is not officially a promoter. but he's an advisor. We know what's going on there with the PBC not recognising the WBO as a world title. We see what's going on in the welterweight division now with Terence Crawford kind of being frozen out in that division. You know, he's not even recognised by the PBC as a world champion. So that's a big problem in boxing right now. We all want to see Spence against Crawford. Spence mix it up with these guys like Pacquiao and Sean Porter, Keith Thurman. But at the moment, it doesn't look like it's happening. So yeah, I think promoters are a big part of the problem. I'm not just going to say the PBC. You know, Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren, both of them have been guilty in the past of not putting their fighters in against each other. Look at what's going on right now with Callum Smith and Billy Joe Saunders. Now, Frank Warren put an offer on the table. Eddie Hearn's rejected it, no counter offer. That's a great fight, unification fight, 50-50 fight, a great fight for the UK. It's not going to happen because for one reason or another, the promoters have got a say in it. Now, I think the fighters do have a big say in it as well, so I won't just put the blame on the promoter totally, but I think that the promoters do have a big say in why some of these fights are not happening. So that's just my personal thoughts, and then hopefully it can get better down the line. But at the moment, you know, money talks in this sport, so we'll see what happens, man. But that's the last of it anyway, man. Thank you guys for sending in your questions, and it's been great answering them. If you guys have any more, feel free to drop them in the comment section below. Look out for more videos to come on this channel and more content on my pages. Boxing Lowdown on Instagram, Boxing Lowdown on Twitter, you guys should find it. Feel free to interact with me, I'm loving it right now. So thank you all, I'll catch you guys on the next one.